Hello, people. Good day. Welcome again to this session. We have an amazing minister, highly esteemed minister. Many of you are used to the face, but I want to introduce to you highly esteemed minister. It's also a reverend. Just imagine we have an anointed man with us today, Reverend Evangelist Ben Awabi. He's done a lot for the 237 Gospel. Talking about the structure of the 237 Gospel, which we have today, these are the people who started the structure, the foundation, and we should be able to give them all the maximum respect they deserve. So welcome, sir. I'm humbled to interview today, and 237 Gospel community is so very humble to have you.
Yeah,
welcome,
let me
sir.
start by, let me start by saying thank you also for this wonderful privilege, even though it was not easy. I am just coming from the church, and anything that concerns gospel music in Cameroon, I'm always ready for that. And I want to thank the 237 gospel community for this wonderful opportunity to talk to the people about my story or about my life.
Thank you, sir. So, sir, we are so humble, and I believe it's a medium where all gospel artists and also consumers all over 237 gospel setting and as well in the diaspora will be so glad to hear you speak one-on-one and to tell them from your mouth your story, your career, and your life path. So, sir, please, do you mind telling us who you are? A lot of people know some certain things about you, but they would like to know more about you in some areas that you want us to know.
Okay. I think you have already introduced me. I'm Evangelist Ben Awabi. By His grace, I started gospel music in 2003. Since then, by His grace, the Lord has been helping me to stand strong. I'm also from Southwest region, also related to the Northwest but I grew up with my mom in the Southwest, precisely in Meme division in a village called Douala. I accepted Jesus when I was 23 years old. That was 1999. And while in the church, I was busy serving in the protocol department, that means you say the usher department. And one day, I was called up by my wife because she was the one leading the choir. One day I was called up by my wife to do the bass in the choir. And when I went there, I did well. I started doing bass in the choir. When the others are singing the tenor, the first part, and the rest, the alto, I'm there for the bass. And in 2002, I told my wife I want to go in for a musical album. And my wife was like, wow, that would be great. Even though, she had a fine voice, a good voice, but I just had that in my spirit. And she asked me, how are you going to do it? I said, I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I just need to contact some old artists that have been there. That was how I came in contact with people like Machumbi, the person that sang, the glory of the Lord is upon me. Yeah, he's a reverend in Apostolic Church. And he had to send me to somebody in Nigeria. And from there, that was how the singing ministry started.
Wow. I mean, a lot of people, I myself, I don't know this. I never knew this. I'm blessed. I'm honored to know this. Thank you, sir. We want to know about your music ministry story, how your ministry started. You talk about starting 2003. That's, if we are counting now, it's almost 18 years in ministry. So we want to be able to, through these 18 years, we want to know how these 18 years of ministry started.
Okay. It all started when the 18 years, it all started when I was singing in the choir. I was doing but bass in the choir. I was singing bass. Yeah. And anytime, in the choir, they choose people to do praises in the church. One time, the mama in the church said they should give an opportunity to Evangelist Ben. By then, I was not an evangelist. They should give an opportunity to Ben Awabi to minister. So I took the mic. It's the church that was full with people from one tribe. And this tribe is called the Oroko tribe. So I had to sing in an Oroko language. I started singing some popular Oroko songs, and everybody was happy. That was how it all started. And anytime I take the mic, there were people in the choir that can sing very well, but you know, the voice was there. But anytime the minister, you see, people don't really appreciate how they appreciate when I minister. Those were already some pointers to my calling into the music ministry. And I told my wife, why is it that anytime I minister, even though I have a very big voice, but anytime I minister, the people are happy. Anytime I minister, there is joy. And from there, I decided to go for an album titled Oroko Praise Volume 1 in 2001. That was in 2001. But the money was not there. The money was not there. So I keep on waiting patiently, planning, organizing that album. And in 2003, God provided. And I went down to Nigeria for that first album, Oroko Praise. That was how it all started.
Wow. I mean, Oroko Praise Volume 1. I believe this album contains a song like Change My Story.
No. The Oroko one, the Oroko Praise Volume 1 is not part of Change My Story. Change My Story was released in the year 2008, 2009. But Oroko Praise was released in 2004. That was my first album. We have songs like, "He passed my money, the thing Jesus do one for me, pass my money." If you can remember that song. Yeah, we have, "My life, I no buy with money, oh. Which kind money, oh? I feel give God for my life." Yeah, those are the songs. So Change My Story was not among the song. And in 2006, I released my second album, Oroko Praise Volume 2. Which was Jesus no go gree, Jesus no go gree. If they say you no go succeed, Jesus no go gree. Sorry for my voice, you know, I'm just coming from church.
Wow, I mean, all the songs, I mean, are so amazing. These songs are songs that we have been singing, I mean, as kids, we have been singing all around. And, you know, it's just coming from a place, the sacred place. It's a song that has blessed a lot of people all across the 237 Gospel territory and also in the diaspora. I mean, a lot of people are singing, I mean, this day to these songs, which it's such a blessing. It's such a blessing. Okay, now we want to know. You talk about you talk about the transition from 2003 to 2006 and to 2008. So, are there any significant things to your ministry story which you want to talk about?
I'm not really getting you. Is it a network? Okay.
Okay, so I was trying to ask that, is through your ministry, is there any story which is very peculiar that you want us to know about? Any testimony, any story through your ministry?
Oh my God. There are many positive and negative stories. Let me start with the positive, then I will go to the negative. Okay, the positive stories are, I've received so much money by His grace from abroad, especially when I released the Change My Story, the Volume 1, when we did the video. I cannot count how many Cameroonians who supported that particular video, many Cameroonians who sent me money from, especially America, UK. There were some who even sent me money in African countries like Ivory Coast. Yeah, So that is the good side of it. Through the Change My Story, I've also built a house. As you can see, where I'm talking right now is my house here in Douala. Through that particular album. Why? Because I market that music not only in Cameroon. That music was marketed in Nigeria by a Nigerian. That is why I totally disagree with people that are against the Nigerian musicians, whether secular or gospel. I am totally against it. You see, the Nigerians were the one that made publicity of me. They took my song, they sold my song. I made money from that song, came to Cameroon, bought a land, and I am living in my own house by his grace. It's because of these Nigerians. But that is not what we are talking here. So these are some of the stories. There are many, but I will just give you those few. Positive side. Now, the negative side. When we were going for Change My Story, after the success of Change My Story Volume 1, when we were going for Change My Story Volume 2, it was not an easy thing. We went to Nigeria with my wife, and we were having 5,500,000 in our pockets, so that when we finish the video, we are going to print the CDs and we are going to put it there in the market. But when we arrived in Nigeria, I had to put 4 million in an account where they are printing our CDs. And when we put the 4 million in the account, you know, in Nigeria, you don't travel with money. So immediately you cross the borders, you go to the nearest bank and put the money in an account where you are going to do the job. So I had to put this 4 accounts. We're just remaining with 1 million, I think 200 and something thousand after we have paid the transport. And immediately we arrived in Lagos. We went to the company. They said they have closed the company. And we went back to the bank in Lagos, their branch in Lagos. And they said, no, the money that was put in that account was put in the account of that company. So it's not my money, or it's not our money. The money belongs to the company. And it's true, because we have been doing this. Anytime I go to Nigeria, I have to put money in the account and I go and show them the receipt. Then they will print out the CD. Then I asked them why. They say, no, that company was owing, they call that company Mira Sound. They said that company was owing the bank. So any money that they put in that bank using their name, it simply means it is their money. That was how we lost that 4 million francs for Change My Story Volume 2. And we came back to Cameroon. Immediately I come back to Cameroon, I lose my mom. I had to spend the remaining money that was with me. And so I was at that junction, I was confused, frustrated, but thank God, because of the Volume 1, I had a building over my head. So I was there and I was believing God to perform a miracle. And since then, if you discover from that time till now, I've not come up with any track or any album except of my latest album that I just, the latest single, sorry, that I just released last year, 2020, The Wonderful God by Evangelist Ben Awabi, Wonderful God by Evangelist Ben Awabi. These are just some few negative things that I faced, but many people don't know. I've been persecuted. There are times that I was rejected because of my voice. There was time that I would go, when I started the music ministry, I would go to churches and I would tell them I have an album, I want to present it. They would say they don't know me. So I faced some of those rejection. So these are some of the negative things that I faced. But today people are just seeing the glory. They don't know what I went through. And when I came back from Nigeria and I spent the remaining money on the burial of my mom, the next thing that I did was I had to obey the voice of the Lord. He said I should go into the buses and start preaching, and I started making publicity of the remaining CDs that I had. And as I was doing like that, God started blessing me. There are 3 things that happened in my life during that time. 3 things that I overcame that time. I overcame shame, overcame pride, and I had to face the people in the bus preaching. People were seeing me. Why is this star doing in the bus? You see, but God was blessing me through that, and people were encouraging me, having my CDs, and that was how I came back as an artist.
Wow. Wow. You know, a lot of these things people don't know. A lot of these things people don't know. And maybe it's like they want to see the glory and don't want to hear the story. There's a lot, there's
Yeah.
a story behind every glory. So something which thank you so much for sharing. Thank you so much for sharing all this to us. I think that's some of the challenges that you are faced throughout. And now we want to go now to know some of you talk about two albums or about three albums. So we want to know how many albums you have exactly, and we want to know how many songs in this album and where can we get this album or songs.
Okay, I have 6 albums, but you know, in these 6 albums, I have just about 3 that I sang alone, and the other 2 I sang with my wife. Yeah, I have 6 albums, but the number 6 I have not yet released it. So I've not put the number 6 in the market, but it's already there. I've not put it in the market, but 5 albums are in the market. We have the Oracle Praise Volume 1. We have the Oracle Praise Volume 2. We have the Oracle Praise Extra. Yeah, this you can only get them in the Southwest and the Northwest. Somebody asked me, why did you title your album Oracle Praise? Somebody asked me, why did you title your album Oracle Praise? And I told the person I was looking for audience. That is where many young gospel artists are failing. You see, you need to have an audience, a group of people that you want to reach, a group of people that are your target. And these people will be the one to make publicity of you. So that was the wisdom that the Lord gave me right from the beginning in 2003. So I had to reach the Oracle people first. And when the Oracle people started loving what I was doing, any song that I released, like they changed my story, the same Oracle people now started advertising that particular song. So I have changed my story that I sang with my wife, Volume 1. I have changed my story, Volume 2, that I sang with my wife. So those are the 5 albums. And my kids also have an album called Mega Praise. Mega Praise, when they were still small, they were singing. But now, by His grace, 2 of them are singers. I'm still building them up in the studio that we have here in the house. We are still building them up. I'm talking about Joseph Awabi, my first son, who is 20 years today, and my daughter Ruth Awabi, who is 18 years today. All of them have single. When you go on my YouTube page, you will get it. You will see the Evangelist Ben Awabi on YouTube, Evangelist Ben Awabi. You click Joseph Awabi or Ruth Awabi, you will get their song. They are still growing, but at least they are doing better.
Wow, wow, wow. I mean, it's something that you are just expanding the kingdom, expanding the kingdom. So we have already 2 kingdom agents already in your house who are to expand the kingdom more. More grace. I want to say more grace.
Yeah.
Yeah. Beside music, we want to know what are some of the things you do beside music?
Oh, that is where that is exactly what some people don't know. You see, but I thank God for Facebook. It is now that some people are discovering that I'm not just a pastor. I'm one of those kind of pastors that don't encourage laziness in the church. Yeah, I believe a pastor needs to have something doing. For me, oh, please. That is my opinion. I'm just like Apostle Paul. Apostle Paul had something doing, even though he was preaching the gospel. Abraham had something doing, even though he was a servant of God. You see, God called Abraham my servant, but he was a businessman. So apart of music, I'm also in ministry. By His grace, I've been in ministry now for 10 years. By His grace. 12 years, because I started ministry in 2008. And by His grace, this is exactly 12 years in ministry. I'm running a ministry known as Believers Outreach Ministry. Believers Outreach Ministry, popularly known here as Boom. So I'm a pastor of that church. I'm the privileged leader of that church. Yeah. So, and secondly, I'm also in business. I do import things from Korea, South Korea. I sell things from South Korea. So that is it. Yeah.
Wow, wow. I mean, the ministry need to go. A lot of people basically don't know that these are some of the things you do behind to keep the ministry going. And
Yeah.
it's just something that it can only be the wisdom of God. He has not given us the spirit of fear, sound mind,
Yeah.
understanding. So that the understanding comes in which you're doing the business part. So now, based on the challenges you talk about, we want to know how did you overcome some of these challenges?
Okay, I said when I came back, I was confused. Let me be sincere. I was frustrated because I had no money then. But I want to thank God that the roof, my house was there. At least nobody was asking me house rent or whatsoever, except light bills and water bills. When I came back from Nigeria, it was not an easy task. While I was praying, I heard the voice of the Lord. He said, "You have CDs, the old CDs in the house." He said, "Go to the buses, go to the train, go where people are, preach the gospel, then make publicity of those cities." I heard the voice very clean and clear. It was not an easy thing because number one, I'm popular. Oroko Place is there. People are celebrating me. Oroko Place Volume 2 is there. People are celebrating me. Change My Story is making waves. How am I going to be standing in front of these same people? How am I going to start this? And Mark chapter 8, verse 38 came in my spirit. He said, "For anyone that is ashamed of Jesus before men, Jesus will be ashamed of that person before his Father in heaven." I took a decision and I told my wife, if I must succeed, I must obey this voice. I'm going to the bus. I'm going to Mundia. I was selling in Mundia. Many people saw me in Musango. I was inside those buses for 4 years. This thing, you see, when you do it and post it, you see those who have seen me in the train, those who have seen me in Musango or Mundia, they will testify. I will preach. I will dress clean, nice. I will go to the bus. I will preach to them, and I would tell. I was not taking offering, and I would tell them I have my product, and this product is my CDs. The only way you people can do is to encourage me. Piracy is dealing with us in Cameroon, so your encouragement will be of a great help to me and my ministry. My brother, let me be sincere. Let me be sincere. God started blessing me, in short, beyond my imagination. Sometimes before I leave a bus, I would go down with 60,000, 70,000, just like that. I would take a bus from Douala. I would stop at Edea. Another bus, I will come back to Douala. I did that for 4 years. I did that for 4 years. But many people don't know this. And that was how I came out from that challenge that I went through. That was how God started blessing me financially. And I now engage in business, with the business that I'm doing right now, importing goods from South Korea. I have a cousin there that loads these goods. And when they come here, I have to remove them and I'm selling. I've never been there, but I'm planning to go there.
Wow.
And spend at least 1 month.
I mean, wow, 4 years. 4 years.
Yeah.
That's the process, the point of the process. A lot of people really don't know about this. I mean, it's something which I mean, I'm so happy for this interview. So happy. And
yeah,
I'm blessed by this interview. Talking about awards, I know that the main award is the crown from God. So based on humans, physical awards and recognition, is there any or are there any awards that you have had so far in your career?
Yeah. I received an award from a Mosaic. It was a trade fair. This trade fair always invite us. We have been in Bamenda because of them. The Mosaic in Boya because of them. So when they were giving an award, they gave us that award as best gospel artist of that year. That was 2011. I also received an award from SP Stella. Her name is Stella. This lady, she's a journalist in LTM television. Yeah. I also received an award there, and I also received an award. It was Bonaberry Gospel how that is bad. The name was Bonaberry Award, something like that. So they were awarding people who were doing great. Yeah, in gospel milieu, in secular and this. And they gave me the best prize there. And I took the award, all the award there in my office by His grace. And I also received other awards from churches, like in how did they call this church? Man of my brother, this thing don't stay. That was around 2012 in Boyade. So those are the few awards I have. And on the 27th of this month, yeah, I'll be receiving by His grace another award of excellence by His grace. This one is organized by Dr. Louis Ekwell Foundation. She's in America, and they'll be giving this award in Limbe on the 27th. I will be there, live and direct. Yeah, for that award.
Wow.
So there are many awards.
Thank you so much, sir, for your time and everything. Now we go to one of the important part of this interview. So we want to know, what are the specific advice you have for the youths?
For the youth, let me just start by saying, number one, I love saying this. They should maintain their focus. They should maintain their focus. Keep on pushing forward no matter what. There are times of rejection. There are times that people will not recognize you. There are times that you'll be minimized. There are times that you'll be rejected. But don't give up. If you know what God has called you to do, maintain your focus. That is my first advice. Number two, you see, try to unite. Artists, this young generation, to try to unite. That is one of the things that is missing in this generation. I'm not seeing unity at all. In our generation, that is our generation, me, my wife, Mama Teke, and you see, we were really, in short, we were really cooperating. Even up to now, we are still cooperating. Before my sister even traveled, Teke Elizabeth, before she traveled to Nigeria, she wrote me on my WhatsApp, my brother, I'm going to Nigeria for my latest album. Please be praying for me. So this generation lack unity. So try to unite with other artists. And number three, submit under a leader or under a ministry. You cannot be a musician and you are not serving in a church. Submission. Because the Bible says, you shall serve the Lord your God and He will lift you up. I think that is Exodus chapter 23, verse 25. So submit under leadership. Submit under leadership. Have a church that you are rendering service with your gift. Your success is attached to your service. You cannot be a jack of all trades. Today you are in this church, the next day you are in this church, the other day you are in this church. You don't have any leader that you are submitting to. You know, when we talk of leader, there's a difference between a leader and a mentor. Now, you can also have a mentor, a musical mentor. A musical mentor, somebody that you can take advice from, somebody that you can run to when you are going through some challenges, to talk to you, somebody that can direct you, tell you what to do. Listen, you can do better than the person. You may have a good voice better than the person. You may have money better than the person, but that person has an experience that you don't have. So go near to this person, submit to this person, and talking about the music mentor, a music mentor. You know, in every area of life, if you want to succeed, you must have a mentor in that area. If you are a policeman, you must have a mentor who is a policeman. If you are a lawyer, you must have a mentor who is a lawyer. If you are a businessman, you must have a mentor who is a businessman. So if you are a musician, you must have a mentor who is a musician. You cannot be a musician or a policeman and you are looking for a mentor who is a musician. That can happen when you are a pastor in a church. You can mentor everybody. You can mentor a policeman, a musician. But I'm talking about musicians. Look for a musician that you can submit to, someone that is that has been in the industry before you, so that you can learn from that person. And my last is, they should work on their character. That is one of the problems we are facing in this generation. Character problem. You can sing very well. You have a good voice. But the truth is this: you will not stay. if you don't have character. Character destroys ministry more than any other thing. So they should work on their character, because what we are seeing in this generation, oh my God, may the Lord help me. May the Lord help me. That is why I'm doing my best to see that this younger generation come together. On the 28, yeah, after I will leave Limbe, we will be having a meeting with the younger generation of gospel artists here in Douala, and I'll be talking with them. We'll be talking together. We'll see how we can move forward. So that is my advice for them.
Wow, thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Unity is one thing which is very important, which the ministers need to understand and the church need to understand. The Bible tells us in Romans 12 verse 5, we being many are one body in Christ Jesus. That should be the mindset of the church. It should be the mentality that we are one in Christ, one from one root, who is the vine, and we are the branches, as Christ said. So thank you so much, sir. Thank you for coming to this session. 237 Gospel Community, so humble for this. But before we go, we want to know some of the areas or social media platforms we can find you. So what are some of your social media platforms, and how can we find you in these platforms?
Okay. My Facebook page is Evangelist Ben Awabi. You just click Evangelist Ben Awabi. That is my Facebook. Then I have another page that is Ben Awabi, not Evangelist Ben Awabi. Ben Awabi Help Movement. Ben Awabi Help Movement. Then you can also get me on WhatsApp. On WhatsApp, which is 675 86 2748 675 86 2748. So for now, then you can also get me on YouTube. On YouTube, you just click Evangelist Ben Awabi on YouTube. Evangelist Ben Awabi. You even get my latest single, Wonderful God. And please, then if you click to my YouTube, please, you subscribe. I'll be grateful. So those are the platforms that you can get me now.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. Thank you. I mean, we're gonna be doing a follow-up as soon as we can and often as we can, because the gospel must be preached and must be spread. So we are humble for God using us, and it's something which we give God all the glory. And it's just a movement, a path which God has created, and for advancement to occur. So 237 Gospel Community, we always keep in touch with you. Any projects that you have, we are setting up a team, which the team is global from every part of the world, which we're trying to have that global scheme where we can.
You just said something. You just said something. You just said something right now about project. Yeah, I have a project right now. I just want people to know we are working on the Change My Story, the remix of the video. Just that particular song, Change My Story. It's just a 5-minute song. Yeah, we want to do a remix video of that song. Yeah, we want to show people where we were coming from and where we are today by His grace, that God can really change the story of people. So we'll be shooting that particular song on the 1st of March. Yeah, we'll be shooting that particular song on the 1st of March. It will be in it will be in Boya. Yeah, and so that is the project that we have in hand right now. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you so much, sir, for letting us know that. I mean, we can always reach out to 237 anytime and any day, especially with musical projects.
Yeah.
So we want to thank you. We want to thank you, and we believe this interview will be a form, even though we don't have a good quality video, but it's the main thing is the message, which we believe that's gonna be so great. So we want to thank you. I really do appreciate. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming, and thank you, and God bless you.
Okay.